Hi guys, it's Super Sam here again. Now this time, last episode, we created a Wookie and we got some sticks up and going. This time we're going to go a bit further and we're going to actually record a scene so we can play it back. It'll be cool. So, I'm actually going to get out of the way here because I'm in front of some of the controls. So, see ya. Now, last time we had created a Wookie and we'd put some sticks on his arms and so we could show him moving around. It was pretty cool. This time what we want to do is I want to go into record mode. So I was in stream mode. That's how I was showing you my picture before. But we want to go into record mode now. And in record mode, we get this timeline panel down here. And here is the one puppet we've got into it. And if I dragged another puppet into here, he would appear down here too. But we're just going to stick to the one puppet. Now, over here on the right, we've got all the puppet behaviors. And all the ones with a red dot. When we start recording, this is called armed. And they're going to actually be recorded. Now, I don't actually have any eyes. And I don't have the face hooked up yet. And I don't have a mouth yet. And there's no triggers. They're going to be coming along later. So I'm just going to turn all those off. The only thing we've actually got wired up at the moment is draggers. It wouldn't actually harm if I left them on, but I'm just going to turn them off. Just to keep things nice and simple. So what we're going to do is we're going to record him doing a bit of a wave, and we want to record that. So this blue thing is called the playhead, and we can move this backwards and forwards. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to make his body go waving backwards and forwards and make him do a little bit of a wave. So I'm going to grab his arm, and that's what I'm going to do. Now, there is a record button here. But you'll notice it says Control R, and I've just always find it easy to do Control R, because then I can get the mouse round about. Actually, it doesn't matter. So you hit record, because it gives you a chance to count down to 3, and then do 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 do. Okay, so I'm not much of a singer. And you hit again to stop. Now, what's going to happen is down here, because I had the microphone on, I actually don't need the microphone anymore. I just needed it to control Sam, so I'm going to turn the microphone off now. That little icon there stops it. And this one next to it gets rid of the webcam. And now I can't control anything with my face. But down here, it's recorded an audio take, and it's moved some handles. You might say, oh, which handles did it move? Well, I'm going to click on this audio take first, and I'm going to hit the delete just to get that out of the way. And so you might notice this parenthesis, because what we didn't do is we didn't put any names on our draggers. So if you select a dragger and hit the Enter key, you can give him names. Now, this one on the left is actually his right hand. I'm going to call that one right hand. I'm going to click on this one over here because it's the puppet's right and left hand, which is backwards. So I'm going to call that left hand. I'm going to click on that one. I'm going to hit enter. I'm going to say chest. And so now if I come back to the record view, you can see that one of them was just recorded his chest and the other one's called his right hand. So it's much easier to see which recording's which now. So I just drag this back. I can drag this back and forwards and see what's going on. And I can hit the space or the play key. And you can play back the recording. But this hand's a bit boring. It's not doing anything. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to come back there. I'm going to hit record. And I'm going to do something with this hand. And then Control R to stop. And what happens is you'll notice that it added another recording, and this one was for the left hand this time. So I can come back here and hit play, It didn't delete the other recordings. And so he's doing a bit of a dance with both hands going. Cool. Now, this scene up here, if I click on the scene, it's actually got a duration. And so I could set that down to something more like 10. And it's okay if the recordings go beyond there, but you see I've set it to 10 seconds and that's brought this line back there. And so now when I play, he does his dance, dancing, 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 I'm the dancing fool. And when it hits the 10 seconds, it'll just stop. Cool. Now, it's a little bit funny that if you've got it armed, it will not show you the current value that the puppet's got recorded because it thinks you're going to record a new value. But if you turn off the arming of the puppet, this one turns off everything for the puppet, this one turns off the individual properties, then it'll show you what the current values are. And you can browse around. Now what happens if I didn't really like that bit there? I want his chest to move a bit more. Well, halfway through the middle, I'm going to turn the dragger back on. I can start doing a record again. And I'm going to move his chest way over and stop the recording. And so in the middle, I've now got this other recording. And this grayed out area down here means that area is not going to be used. This new recording is going to override it because both of these are related to the chest. So let's see what looks like now. Dance, 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 dance. And then down and down and back. Now, one other thing, it's not actually important in this one, but in this little corner is a little drag icon, and you can smooth out and smooth in when you do these sorts of takes so that it just blends from one to the other. It's a little bit less abrupt. Wasn't actually too bad in this case because I lined it up pretty well. And I returned him back to the starting spot. Now, the other thing you can do is you can grab this end and you can just trim it back so it's shorter. So if I actually trimmed it all the way back there, just as an example, he suddenly jumps back up. And that's probably a better example of why I might do one of these blends. So if I get rid of the blends, because I started the record in the right spot, but saying a bing, he jumps back. So if I put a little bit of a blend there, he came back a bit smoother. I don't know if you saw that. Now you can do things like playback half speed. And that blend just smooths that out a little bit. So that's quite a useful little thing. It's up in this top little corner. I use blends quite a lot. Let's go back to normal playback speed. Cool. What else is worthwhile? Now you can move this around too. You just drag it and move it around. You can do that for all these other ones as well. But it's a simple recording. So the idea is you can get it and record layer upon layer. Now, one thing you'll find, it is a bit annoying that if I drag the playhead around, it keeps falling back to this default position while the record is on. And if I disable the recording, if I disarm it, then it'll show me what it is. And that can just make it a little bit painful because you're trying to work out, oh, I want to move this hand. Where was it? You sort of got to turn it on and off. There are some tricks to make that a bit easier, but frankly, it is just a bit of a pain. Now, if we have a look in here, there's a property called hold in place versus return to rest. And what hold in place does is if I drag and let go, it's going to stay there. Return to rest, his arms will go back to the starting position, and you can actually, let's do return to rest, and then you can say how long it's going to take. 0 is no good, let's try 0.5. I think it's enough for this one. So that was just a very quick introduction to do a recording. Oh, if you don't like it, you can just click on it and hit the delete key and you go back to the old one. And if you've got lots and lots of recordings, when they're starting to obscure each other, you can just click on them and hit the delete key and they'll go away. But that was a quick introduction to recording. Go back into stream mode. So hopefully you found that useful. That was the first example of a very simple recording. And the next episode, what we're going to do is export it into a video file. With that video file, we can upload it to YouTube. Super cool. See you next time. Bye.